Hello, and welcome back to Burrows. We're with Simone and Oleander? Watch me say that wrong. Well, I'm probably saying that wrong. I don't know. But yeah, we're still doing the thing. We're in the tunnels. It's fun. After a lot of walking, the path splits into two. Oh, well, this is a pickle. It is. There's three of us. Pardon. Two take left and I'll take right. Oh, you two take left and I'll take right. You can't be serious. We just found you. I sigh and gesture to the owl's massive frame. If something goes down, you're better off with this guy protecting you. I'm used to getting beaten up. I'll be okay. That has no logic whatsoever behind it. But it's the young miss's decision. Can't we just explore them one at a time? Splitting up feels like a bad move. If one of these is a trap, and we walk in together, we all die. I see. So you're gunning for at least one of us finding an exit. If there are any signs of trouble, we meet back here, okay? Who decided you were the group leader, anyway? I laugh and pull her aside, trying to whistle as discreetly as possible. Sim, we don't know this guy. If he finds the exit alone, he could just leave us behind to die. Oh, so you want me to watch him and make sure he doesn't pull anything funny? I pat her on the shoulder, grinning with confidence. You didn't think I'd discount your strength after that punch, did you? She beams back at me and nods. Thanks. Sorry for doubting you. I won't let you down. She walks over to, Oleander, hugging his arm playfully. Of course I'll go with Oli. He stuck with me, more than you. Oli? I stick my tongue out at her, followed by a wink. I then nod to Oli. Keep her safe. He grins weakly as Simone pulls him into the left tunnel. Will do, Mr. Gray. I wait for them to disappear before I'm walking towards my side. Stay calm and focused. These walls are lined with hundreds of feet of cable, and I trace my fingers along them. Rubberized, this must lead to some kind of electrical device. I follow it for a few minutes before it opens into a larger, brighter room. Standing before the room is a thin metal bridge stretching over a chasm, yellow and black striped paint along the edges. Of course. Oli would have never been able to make it over this. His talons were spaced wider than this thing even allowed. I gulped and carefully moved onto it, opting to shuffle along inch by inch. Halfway across, I feel the metal start to give. I panic and run the rest of the way, jumping off right as the bridge buckles under me and falls into the deep depths. I listen, waiting to hear a loud clang when it hits the bottom, but no sound ever comes. Well, there goes my way back. So much for my plan. I turn around, examining my new surroundings. There's a long, and I mean long, escalator stretching up into a bright light. Okay, I realize that it's the light source for this entire room. As I approach, I hear the muffled sounds of a motor starting up and stopping. It's the escalator. Something is caught in its tread. It looks like some kind of fabric. I see a button labeled Emergency Start on the console. It would be a considerably larger walk if this thing isn't moving. Should I press it? Let's not mess with anything. This place is unpredictable enough. I take a deep breath and start jogging up the steps. I can't keep my friends waiting. It's not so bad. The stairs are springy, and helps propel me up. I can do this. I'm so fucking tired. How much further does this thing stretch on? It's like I'm walking up every set of stairs I've ever been on combined into one hellish punishment. No, this is the safest option. Trust me, this will pay off in the end, Gray. Just keep putting one foot ahead. My calves feel like someone's sticking a hot knife through them. Even if I make it to the top, I'll be surprised if I can ever walk again. Keeping track of time was pointless, and after what felt like an eternity, I reached the end. Simon and Oli were patiently waiting for me, leaning against the railing. Simon? Great, you look like shit. Thanks. I collapse onto a heap between them, gasping for air while rubbing my poor little legs. I concur. You took the roadless travel, it seems. I'm just glad you two are okay. They respectfully allow me to rest for a while. A hot shame washes over me as my lack of athleticism shows through. Eventually, I stand up and brush myself off, rejoining the group. So, how did things go on your end? Oli sighs, scratching the back of his head. Well, we walked for a good long while before coming across even more bloody tunnels. Shit, that would have thrown me for a loop. Indeed. Were it not for Miss Simon here, I doubt we'd have found our own way. I look at her in disbelief. She just giggled and smiles, looking away bashfully. What? You're ridiculous, Simon. But I'm glad you're both okay. Well, this time it wasn't very hard, thanks to you. What, me? She pinches her nose, gesturing to all of me. You've got a very particular odor, Gray. I just followed my nose. Ouch, that hurts, especially coming from a skunk. Oli pats me on the back, laughing to himself. Sorry, lad, but she's right. Great. The hot and new guy also says I stink. I can't wait to hear it from Mark later. Look, I've been running around a fucking sewer and getting the shit scared out of me every 10 minutes. I fear sweat. It's quite alright, Gray. I've gotten used to it. Though we owls have a decent sense of smell, too. He leans in to whisper, his beak pressing into the grooves in my ear. Yeah, and very good hearing. He playfully nips my earlobe, and chuckles as he pulls away. I gulp. So he heard us earlier and still went along with the plan. I glance at Simone, who somehow I didn't notice the exchange. Anyway, both paths lead to this area, so the exit must be this way, right? Indeed. I suspect the light is coming from the surface, given its lack of mechanical origin. We can't stop now, then. Come on. She runs off into the long hallway across from us, and we follow suit, picking up the pace in an effort to catch up to her. After a minute of jogging, we slow down to a fast-paced walk, and the air tense as we stay on guard. This is the final area, I'm sure of it. The light slowly begins to shift, and the air becomes cold and more breathable. Soon, the muffled sounds of traffic start to come through from overhead. I look over to Simon and smile confidently. She nods, and we walk faster, sensing the end of this nightmare approaching. We come to a ladder leading up to the underside of the manhole cover, so we were in the real subway. I don't stop to think about it and gesture for Oli to climb up first. He looks surprised, but nods stoically before starting to ascend. I go next, followed by Simone, whatever. I've been going back and forth, guys. I'm sorry. It's just the order is mostly wait, to preserve Simon's decency. But I also don't think either of us could move that cover, at least from this awkward angle. He starts at the top and struggles, fitting his pointed fingers into the grooves and waiting for the rumble of traffic to stop before beginning to twist. The muscles in his whole body tense, and I hear him struggling. I'm getting a face full of his ass, and the fabric of his pants buckle as he flexes his glutes.
Great. Would you be a dear and support me from the bottom? I cannot find purchase from this angle.
Yeah, sure. I take a deep breath and move up a rung of the ladder until I feel his thighs press down on my shoulders. Yup, it's not just feathers. The guy's built.
Much appreciated, comrade. Let's try that one again.
I feel his whole body twist as he tries opening it with his bare hands, pulling my head between his legs.
You all right, lad?
I stifle out a small moan, but can't speak, my face being squished on both sides by his powerful thighs. Is everything all right up there? I give her a weak thumbs up. He's practically sitting on my back now, his junk pressed into the back of my neck.
Almost there.
I hear a clang of the metal disc is flipped and lands on the surface. A bright light pierces into the chamber, and the sounds of traffic are clear as day. He did it. Olia graciously frees my head from his grip, and we climb one by one, finding ourselves on a small side street. We're back. It's finally fucking over. A few onlookers briefly gawk at us, but eventually turn their attention elsewhere. I chuckle and drag myself onto the grassy boulevard, collapsing into in a heap of exhaustion. What was the point of that? Was he really testing me? And what does that have to do with my nightmare of Mark? You know, fucking dying? But involving Simon. That's crossing the line. Wait, Simon. Simon, we're in the... It's too late. She's already looking around, mouth agape in awe. Oli looks unfazed. Wow, you weren't kidding. I shrink back, knowing her being stuck here was ultimately my fault. We may have found a way out of that dungeon, but the mystery isn't over yet. Sime, I'm sorry. I wrote that dumb note. I worried you and Eddie and sick. Got you wrapped up in this weird bullshit between me and Virgil. I'm an idiot, alright. I'm a useless fool who only knows how to run when things look bad. I couldn't put you through that again. Sure, you probably already resented me for cheating on you, and no matter how many times you say you forgive me, I'll never believe it, by the way. But there's no way you can excuse this. You're trapped in the future because of me. If you want to never see my face again, I won't blame you. I look over and see her rub her snout, and shivering, Oli holds her to his chest, and she nuzzles into his feathery arms.
I believe the lady is too cold to respond to your pedantic confession, Mr. Gray.
No shit. Of course, I was only in the situation a mere 2 days ago. She just got teleported from humid and muggy Louisiana to winter in New York City. The temperatures dropped noticeably since I stepped out earlier, and I'm starting to shiver too. I rush over to her side and hold her, hoping that my own meager body heat is enough to warm her.
I suggest we find somewhere to purchase her a coat. If she's to spend an extended amount of time here, she'll need more than just that.
He cocks his head distastefully at her dress. It's practically only lace and see-through silk. Perfect for the stage, but not intense weather. Was it a good show? She nods weakly, warming her hands with her breath. I quickly look around and check where we ended up. A street sign says First Avenue. So I ended up downtown in the end. Wonder if Virgil did that so on purpose. Regardless, I have a mission right now. Scanning the area, I notice a second-hand clothing store a block away, with some jackets hanging in the window. Oli, that way. Let's move together.
Oleander. And yes, let's go.
We awkwardly shuffle over as a unit. Practically, I'm pushing her through the door as we fumble inside. The owner gives us an odd look, but goes back to her book, giving us a few minutes to warm up. You know you're cold when your thighs are feeling it.
I reckon it'll take some time before those thighs of your magnitude can fully thaw. Perhaps we can find some pants to go with your new wardrobe.
She gives him the steak eye before grabbing my hand and putting them between her legs. Right in the middle of the store. A cold, right? They felt like perfect pillows, pillowy snowbanks. Cold, yes, but soft. Right, yeah. Oli shakes his head disapprovingly and begins to browse, leaving us alone for the first time. Well, let's hope they take quarters. Oh, don't worry, I got this one. She reaches in between her breasts and pulls out a wad of bills. It was a good show. A full house. Big tippers. I crack a smile, expecting nothing less. Her singing was outstanding, and she always drew a big crowd when she sang at Jean's. I wanted to see her perform one last time before I left, but I was worried if I did, I couldn't go through with it. Glad to know I was right. So, see anything that catches your eye? She chuckles, sitting down on a beanbag and crossing her legs, demurely. Now, Gray, I've just been informed I'm in the 1960s. I have absolutely no idea what fashions are in right now. And? She pouts and crosses her arms childishly. Thus, there's no point in trying to put together a decent look. I've lost before I even started. Just pick something out for me. Sugar. You have a good eye. The familiar routine. She tells me to pick and then hates every single thing I bring her until she caves and looks for herself. I must have the goofiest grin on my face as she stops pretending to pout and giggles when she looks back at me. Sure, Sugar. Maybe I'll get it right on the first try this time. I bet my left hit you won't. Good luck. I ventured to the back, making a mental note to buy her a contemporary fashion magazine sometime soon. I think she'd rather like how liberated the women of this era are. There are racks upon racks of dingy denim jackets and garish colors, a tacky white culottes, and hundreds of demented-looking hats. I really don't want to walk out of here empty-handed. She won't make it back to the apartment at this rate. Fuck, I'm going to have to explain this to Mark somehow. Today is really not my day. I'm so caught up in my thoughts, I nearly trip over a box in the corner of the store. The owner cranes her neck to see what the ruckus is, and I silently mouth an apology. The box is full of sensible items, and I pull out a brown suede jacket that looks about her size. I was never great at discerning one's bust size, but style is more important right now. Hey, Oli, what do you think of... He's gone. Did he slip out while I was talking to Simon? Leaving without a word, after all of that left a bad taste in my mouth. Regardless, I ran to show Simone my find, hoping my time with Mark has improved my fashion sense. Oh, that ain't bad. I like the fringe too. Right? It's kind of reminds me of the cowboys get-up we used to wear as kids. Oh, yeah, didn't Sam have... Sorry. It's alright, I brought it up. By the way, where'd Ollie go? Oh, him? He left a few minutes ago. He wrote down his contact info for me, in case we need to get in touch again. Odd guy, that one. Look who's talking. So, you'll take it? Okay. I hold up the garment, and she claps approvingly, snatching it out of my hand and dancing over to the register. Yup, and now let's get something to eat. I'm starving. Same old Simon, living each day by the seat of her pants, and having fun to boot. We walk out into the cold, less harsh now that Simon's walking with me, arm in arm, with her new duds. Should we ask around for a place? Let's walk around. Don't you want to see the city? What is it with men and never asking for directions? Hey, I'm just trying to... Some guy walked straight into me, almost knocking the both of us over. Sorry, pal. Asshole. Are you alright, Gray? Yeah, wait. I suddenly feel lighter. I pat my pockets, and my wallet's gone. Damn it, that guy just robbed me. Wait, oh. Just wait till I get my hands on. Fellas? Oh, this lad, okay. I remember seeing, his portrait, on the Twitter. We pause and turn around, seeing a young rat, swaddled in layers of, winter clothes, holding out what looks to be my wallet. That's a pretty classic trick, my guy. You's, gotta be quicker than that guy these parts. Don't worry, though. Still it back for you. I snatched the wallet back and combed through it, before remembering it was empty to begin with. I slid it back into my pocket and, laugh awkwardly, embarrassed. Thanks. It's AJ. You's new around here. Simon pushes past me and leans down, staring inches from his face. Yes, and we're very new. Could you maybe show us a good place to eat? She's using her baby voice. What's in it for me? She pulls out her wad of cash again and licks her fingers, pulling out a few singles as AJ watches wide-eyed. How's $5 sound? The kid snaps out of it and nods, holding his hands out greedily. She lets go of the bills and he snatches them out of midair, stuffing them into his coat in the blink of an eye. Pleasure doing business with you. All right, follow me, chumps. Before I can add anything, he starts walking, power walking back down the block. Simon grabs my arm and pulls me along, and I almost trip over my feet. Once again, she's adapted perfectly to the situation. We pass an alleyway, and I stop in my tracks. Homeless, packed wall to wall. Women, children, old and young. Simon notices and doubles back. Her smile falters. That could have been me if I never ran into Mark. And what are you tees doing? Ah, yeah, real shame. Especially this time of year. Aren't there any shelters they could stay in? They're awful. They're better off trying to get arrested, just so they could get a cell to sleep in. Jesus. And if that ain't bad enough, they've been going missing lately. People are talking. Really? They say some guy will come by and offer you a place to stay, asking for nothing in return. And then? Nobody knows, but they don't come back. That's awful. Yeah. Just rumors, though, right? He gives me a confused glance and nods slowly. Yeah, technically. Still troubling info either way, Poss. There's no way, right? Mark has had plenty of chances to, if he really wanted to, I mean. It's hard enough to believe someone would specifically target the homeless, let alone him. He has too much to lose by letting strangers into his apartment. Plus, he said I was the first visitor, didn't he? If that was a lie, then... Yeah. I got lost in thought and jumped at the noisy rat. Earth the possum, come on! I still got a job to do here. Let's go, Gray. Okay. I'll end the part here, so I will see you around, everyone.